cue, reward, habit, timeout. So this is such an important thing, allowing your brain to reset. As a leader, as an unconventional leader, more than likely you bop from one thing to the next without, and what that can cause is this high cue, high reward habit. Your brain loves it. Think of power scrolling. That's a perfect example of that. So fast little story. Last week, one of my high performing unconventional leaders running a large company, a staff of over 200, just an interesting individual. Anyways, he showed up for our coaching session completely out of sorts. Like I could just tell by looking at him. I'm like, something is off. His color was off on it. And I knew it wasn't just his camera. I'm like, what exactly is going on? He was talking fast. I'm like, you're excited, but yet, and your eyes are darting around, and I can't even imitate it. It was just like, okay, wait. It was classic overstimulation headed for a small crash. And I asked, what were you doing right before this call? And he said, well, I had 5 extra minutes. So of course I jumped into the internal message board to see how many problems I could solve. And in doing that, he was power scrolling and he was looking at each thing, and his brain was trying to decide on each little thing and then picking the one he could really officially address and make happen. All brilliant and all high cue, high reward dopamine sprint. Like right after that, his brain was kind of on fire. It was just going. And yet we needed to have a conversation that was far more reflective, required more presence, deeper thinking. And I knew he wasn't going to be able to access it in that brain. So that's when I taught him something very simple. Meditation is great. Quite often, though, for someone in particular, this person has ADHD diagnosed on medication for it. We're aware. So while he is good at meditating, being able to do that once you're in that space isn't really possible. So instead of pushing for that, in simple language, I wanted to bring his racing thoughts down. I wanted to improve his breathing, get more oxygen in his body. And so what I had him do instead, just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think of the last rental vacation place that you stayed in. Remember walking up the steps. Remember opening the door. Remember the codes you had to figure out. Now you've stepped into the space. What does it look like? Describe that to me. What does it smell like? What do you hear as you're walking around the house, figuring out where things are? What do you hear? And what's the layout? Describe for me. Okay, we've walked in the front door. Where do we go? Are there steps in front of us? Is it just an open space? Like, what exactly is in front of us? Do you take your shoes off right away? Do you set your bags to the side? I had them walk me through that whole, just like entering in this space. What were the walls painted? Oh, okay, so it's hardwood floor. Well, what kind of hardwood? And is it a laminate floor? Like, what were you seeing? What stood out in that room? Okay, take me to the next room. I could watch. It was just so fabulous to watch the levels of him being able to calm down, to bring down the endorphins, all of the adrenaline that was coursing through his body. Ideally, I would have wanted to have sent him off for a good workout to sweat that out, a nice sauna. I didn't have time for that. I needed to find a quick way to help him reset. And this is a perfect way, particularly for that ADHD brain, where meditation sometimes can be more of a panic silence. And then there's this urgency. Honestly, I've seen it with a few of my clients. If they meditate and they are in the wrong space starting out, they'll have some panic about the silence. They'll have some, that void of silence will cause them to have an urgency to fill it with lots of chatter. which actually increases. It does the opposite of what the goal of a meditation is. So instead, going more into that descriptive visualization, especially for me, especially with clients that are high visual, which a majority of my clients are, because that's how I am, super high vis. So I can help translate that. So this high Q, high reward time out can be incredible for leadership. Don't have to think it's not meditation. It's just an ability to allow your brain to stop what it was doing that was really fast and to allow it to gear down. If we were a car, we are shifting gears into first or second, so we can be more deliberate, more present, those types of things. It can also be really helpful if you do feel your anxiety, you do feel yourself being more reactive than taking the beat and taking a time out to think before you do something. It's perfect for this. So it stops that fire hose of adrenaline, of dopamine, all of that, which right now with our devices and I never would have thought there was going to be a day or a time when technology was actually going to catch up to the ADHD brain and actually push it past its limits. But I mean, I'm starting to see that actually with a variety of my clients. So this is one thing that I am really encouraging with them, and I'm sharing it with you, this kind of a behind the scenes secret of that, just that timeout. But that's so boring to me if somebody says timeout. So, but I think of it as a high Q, high reward timeout. There's a big reward in taking time to do this and to become a little calmer. So remember, if you've just spent a bunch of time doing an addictive behavior, hanging out on messaging board, hanging out in the news, market trends, checking your social feeds, anything like that, you have probably kicked up a whole bunch of chemicals in your body, fight or flight, a whole bunch of everything. Do yourself a favor. And as Dr. Amen likes to say and said recently, just stare at the wall for 5 minutes. Just take in a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Just stop sending in more information that your brain needs to process, digest, and decide about, and allow it to just be. It will thank you. It will thank you so much for that. It isn't bad. It's a great thing. And the benefits will last actually hours, as long as you don't speed it right back up. So remember, you're breathing and then allowing yourself to focus on one thing in detail. In this case, I had my client close their eyes and I had them describe. And for them, it was a beach house. It was quite lovely when we got through the whole experience, and we had an incredible coaching session. So you don't have to wait for a coach to tell you this. I'm giving you this for free. I would love to hear what you use or what place you would use to describe to bring yourself out of that, right? That high adrenaline, high dopamine state, and shift yourself over into this more calmer, present, a lot more controllable means and manner of processing and thinking. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Georgina, unconventional leadership coach, international neurodiversity coach, and different thinker extraordinaire, encouraging you to embrace your different thinking, learn about it, and then figure out how to level up, because everything improves as you know more about yourself, and you can improve your life. Bye now.